Nigerian government to arrest and prosecute those funding Peter Obi's campaign from abroad, AGF Malami says. Any Nigerian who lives abroad funding the campaign of Peter Obi shall be arrested. It is against our electoral laws. One thing Nigerians who base abroad faith to understand is that they cannot stay there and dictate to us how to govern our country. Someone who sits in United States of America and be telling us what to do and what not to do as if we don't know what we are doing in the country. If you violate the electoral law, you will face the penalty squarely, and we will do everything possible our power to prosecute both you and the candidate you are funding his campaign. We have received a signal that some individuals, mostly Nigerians living abroad, have taken it upon themselves to fund the campaign of Mr. Peter Obi, who is the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the forthcoming presidential election. What these individuals failed to understand is that Nigeria is a democratic nation governed by democratic rules and regulations. It is against the electoral act of those living in abroad to sponsor any candidate in any election. Those involved should desist from such act or have us to contend with. We will resist it by all means. Such funds cannot enter Nigeria, although we have put measures on ground to apprehend those who will get themselves involved in such an act. So guys, what's your take concerning this? AGF Malami says, Nigeria will arrest and prosecute those funding Mr. Peter Obi's campaign from abroad. He said any Nigerian who lives in abroad funding the campaign of Mr. Peter Obi shall be arrested. It is against our electoral acts. One thing Nigerians who based abroad fail to understand is that they cannot stay there and dictate to us how to govern our country. Someone will sit in the United States of America and be telling us what to do and what not to do as if we don't know what we are doing in this country. If you violate the electoral law, you will face the penalty squarely, and we will do everything within our power to prosecute both you and the candidate you are funding his campaign. We have received a signal that some individuals, mostly Nigerians living abroad, have taken it upon themselves to fund the campaign Mr. Peter Obi's, the presidential candidate of Labour Party, which is coming up in the next election. What these individuals fail to understand is that Nigeria is a democratic nation governed by democratic rules and regulations. It is against the electoral act of those living in abroad to sponsor any candidate in an election. Those who involved should desist from such act or have us to contend with. We will resist by all means. Such funds cannot enter Nigeria, although we have put measures on ground to apprehend those who will get themselves involved in such acts. Abubakar Malami says. So what of the government? Any government too that borrows money from abroad should be arrested and prosecuted. Very laughable. It is the same Malami who's unable to send Abba Kyari to face Hush Puppy's case with FBI in America that has the capability to punish patriotic Nigerians who are desirous to take back their country, empty threats to back by law. Okay. enemy of progress. You have not fought voting buying in Nigeria. Even there was a allegation that APC registration centers were discovered in the country sharing borders with Nigeria. Still, you have done nothing. You are fast to criminalize the art of financial support because the support is not going to APC or a Nigerian candidate. Indeed, Nigeria, it is still far from receiving. Dead on arrival, Malami, Mr. Peter Obi, is in America holding town hall as an individual, not as Labour Party. This interpretation of the electoral art from the great oracle closes Malami's insanity. We will arrest China for borrowing a failed country of APC Buhari money. This one is gradually melting. Where was he when dollars were raining during the presidential primary election of both APC and PDP? Now, he feels he can flex his muscles on Peter Obi. Have you arrested those funding banditry and Boko Haram in Nigeria? If you don't want to sit, then sit down. Jokers of the highest order. Now, so they donate for Buhari during his election time. You guys are getting intimidated by the emergence of Peter Obi every day. Okay, the truth is that these people, they are just afraid of Peter Obi and his movement because they know that Peter Obi has taken all the corners in Nigeria. Well, let's see how it goes. Let's see how they will go about this. I am dropping it here. Kindly share your thoughts below the comment section. Thank you.